My boss stole my startup idea, but he didn't know I left a trap. I spent 18 months building an AI called Sentinel Shield. It could stop cyber attacks before they started. I left my job at Microsoft because I believed in this idea. Titan Tech had the tools and money I needed. I thought I was in the right place. The CEO, Brandon Holt, seemed nice. He came by often and praised my work. 3 days ago, Sentinel Shield passed a big test. It blocked a serious attack and found hidden problems I didn't even teach it to catch. I called a meeting to share the news, but when I walked in, Brandon and a lawyer were waiting. They gave me papers saying Titan Tech owned my AI. Then they fired me and gave me $300,000 to go away. But I was ready. What I did the next day shocked them all. I had known for a while that Brandon was not to be trusted. Months before everything went wrong, I found something strange. I had set up a private server where I kept early versions of Sentinel Shield, my cybersecurity system. One night, I noticed strange activity. Someone had accessed the server using a hidden path. After checking the logs, I found Brandon had broken into my private files. I didn't say anything. I didn't confront him or report it. I acted like nothing happened. But inside, I knew I needed a backup plan. So, I started building a secret feature into Sentinel Shield. It was something I didn't tell anyone about. Not my team. Not my friends. No one. I called it the Mirror. It was a silent piece of code, buried deep in the system. It had one job: to wake up and act if the system was used in the wrong way or stolen. And now, the time had come. The day Brandon and the lawyer fired me, I smiled. I looked like I had lost everything. I even thanked them for the bonus and walked out. But inside, I was calm, because I knew what would happen next. That night, Titan Tech had a big investor demo. Brandon used the latest version of Sentinel Shield on a company laptop, the same laptop I had handed him with a smile when they fired me. He didn't know that the mirror was active. 10 minutes into the demo, it began. Sentinel Shield triggered my hidden code. The system suddenly filled with alerts. Screens flashed red. Warnings popped up across the dashboard. It even flagged Titan Tech's own network as a threat. The investors were confused. Brandon was speechless. They thought it was a glitch, a bug. But it wasn't. Later that night, I got a call. It was Brandon. He sounded nervous, desperate. His voice shook. He told me the system had collapsed. Sentinel Shield wouldn't work anymore. Every time they tried to restart it, it flagged their own network. Nothing made sense. He asked me to fix it. I told him the truth. Sentinel Shield wasn't broken. It was doing what it was made to do. It had learned how to spot real threats. And this time, the threat came from inside the company. The threat was him. I reminded him how he broke into my server, how he took my work and claimed it as the company's, how they fired me and tried to erase my name from everything. He tried to act tough, said I couldn't blackmail him. I told him this wasn't blackmail. It was justice. I gave him the terms: 50% ownership of Sentinel Shield, my name as the sole creator, a seat on the company's board, and $10 million. He called it extortion. I called it fair. He paused. Then he asked if I had a fix. I told him I did. A flash drive. One simple update. It would remove the trigger and restore normal function, but only if my demands were met. He stayed silent for a long time. Then, finally, he agreed. The next morning, I returned to Titan Tech. I didn't walk in as an employee. I walked in as co-founder and CTO. The staff looked surprised. Whispers followed me down the hall. But no one asked questions. They had all seen the system crash the night before. Now it was working again. They just wanted answers. I gave Brandon the flash drive. We plugged it in together. Within minutes, Sentinel Shield was fully online and stable. The demo we had failed to show the night before? It ran perfectly this time. The investors were amazed. They said it was the best cyber defense tool they had ever seen. One executive said it felt like the system could think ahead, like it knew what was coming. I smiled. That was the point. Over the next few months, everything changed. Sentinel Shield became the talk of the tech world. News articles called it the next generation of defense. It stopped attacks no one else could even detect. Banks, hospitals, and even government agencies started using it. One day, It blocked a real cyber attack on a major bank. It saved them over $20 million in minutes. The bank CEO went on national news and said Sentinel Shield was the reason they were still standing. After that, we couldn't keep up with the demand. Every company wanted our system. I started hiring new engineers. People I trusted. People with talent and values. I built a new team from scratch. A team that respected the work and knew how much it mattered. As for Brandon, we still work in the same building. We attend the same meetings. But we're not friends. He knows he crossed a line and that he lost. Sometimes I see him watching me during board meetings. He doesn't say much anymore. Maybe he's still angry. Maybe he regrets what he did. But it doesn't matter. I don't work for him anymore. I work beside him. And I make sure he never gets the chance to take more than he should. I've learned a lot through all this. The biggest lesson? Always protect what you build. Don't just trust handshakes and smiles. People change when money and power are involved. That's why I built the mirror. Not because I wanted revenge, but because I needed safety. A way to defend my work when others tried to steal it. It worked. Now, I talk to young creators, college students, and new developers. I tell them my story. I show them how to secure their code. I help them register patents, set up legal protections, and keep control of what they create. Because I know how easy it is to lose everything if you don't prepare. The tech world can be brutal. Not everyone is honest. But that doesn't mean you have to let them win. You have to be your own shield. That's what I did. And it saved everything. Even now, as I look at Sentinel Shield protecting thousands of systems around the world, I think back to that night, the night Brandon tried to erase me. He thought he had won. But the system I built knew better. It remembered who created it. It remembered who the real threat was. And when the time came, it stood up, not just for itself, but for me. That's the power of building something right. Something smart. Something with a purpose. Sentinel Shield was more than just code. It was a part of me. And no one, not even Brandon Holt, could take that away.